Hello people, this is Code Grind and in today's video we'll be creating a password visibility toggle switch using Vanilla JavaScript. So here I've got this password input field, and when I type anything in here and click on this I icon, the password is visible and the icon changes, the slash from the I is removed, and when I click on it again it goes back to the normal form. So this is what we'll be creating in today's video. So let's get straight into it. So here I've got this basic layout ready. I have linked two external CSS file. This one is in which we'll be doing all the styling part for the project, and this input.css file is the one in which I have already created an animated input field. If you want to learn how to create such animated fields like I showed you in the preview, then you can go to one of my videos. I'll give a link in the description, and you can also click on the link above to view that video, and it is a really good one. You can learn how to create a very interactive input form. So now let's get started with our HTML. First we'll have a div with a class of container. This is the main div. We'll wrap all our things inside this one, and then a heading like password visibility toggle using Vanilla JavaScript. So this is just a brief description of what we'll be creating. Yeah, now this is it for the heading. Now let's design our input field inside the div with the class input, and I will be using this class input group. So this input group class is actually defined in the input.css file. You don't need to know much about it. As I told you, go to the link in the description and view that video. And in here input password input, we don't need the name, we just need the ID. ID can be same as password, and then a placeholder of password as well. Yeah, then we'll have our label for password. When I hit save, we don't see any changes in here. Why is that? That is because the color which I have entered in this input.css file is white. So when we get into the CSS part, you will be able to see all of this. Now we'll be using our icon. So I have linked an external link. This is the link for the Font Awesome website, from where you can use a very wide range of icons, and you can use any of the free icons. There are around 1600 free icons. You can use any of those for your free projects. They are absolutely for free. Now we'll place them inside a span tag. You just need to use the I tag with proper class names. So the class which we'll be using is fai slash, which is font awesome I slash. So it takes time to load because it is fetching it through internet. So now we get this I slash, and if you want just the I one, so it is fai. So we get this without the slash. So by using the proper class names, you can use the various icons from Font Awesome website. So this is it for the HTML part. Now let's get into the styling. So for styling, we'll go to the index.css file, give it a margin 0, padding 0. So first we are just nullifying the browser's default settings, and give it a font family of Poppins. So it is a very good font. If you want to use it in your projects, then I'll give a link in the description from where you can download it and install it in your systems. Now to the body, we'll give it a background of background color of #091921. It is a good color if you want to work in dark mode. So as I said, as soon as I gave it a dark background, we are able to see this input field now. So this is the animation, and now we'll give it a color of white. And now to horizontally center align all of this, display of flex and a justify content of center. So this is it for now, and at last a text align of center as well. Yeah, now we'll select our heading and increase its font size to 2em, give it a margin of 3em from top, 0 from left and right, and 2em for bottom. Yeah, this is it for the heading. Now we'll select our input. So as you might remember, the input is the div which is holding everything. That means the animated input field as well as this icon. So we'll go to it and give it a position of relative. This is because we need to position this icon in reference to the input div. So we give it a position of relative, and then we'll select the span in which we are holding the icon and give it a position of absolute. So after giving it a position, we'll give it a right of 10 pixels so it sticks to the right side of the input field, and also a bottom of, let's say, 15 pixels would be good enough. Yeah, so it is positioned perfectly now, and also a cursor of pointer so that when I hover over it, it looks clickable. Now this is it for the CSS. Now let's get into JavaScript to provide it the perfect functionality. So we'll start the JavaScript part at the end of the body tag. Inside the script, we'll run a function. Let's call the function show password, and whenever this icon is clicked on, we'll run this function. So on click of the icon, we'll run this function show password. Now inside this function, first of all, we'll select our input field. So const, let's store it in a variable password, document.query selector hash password, because we gave the input field an ID of password. And we'll also select our icon. So document.query selector span I. Yeah, now what we need to do is whenever this span is clicked on, this function will run, and then we need to change, it is nothing but very simple. We will simply change the type of this input field to text, and then if it is clicked again, then it will simply change it back to password. So we'll first select the type of the input field. So for that, password dot get attribute, we need to get the attribute type. Now if this attribute is equal to password, then we'll change it to text. If it is password, then we will simply change it to text. So to set any attribute, the statement is password dot set attribute. Now inside double quotes, we'll have two sets of double quotes. The first one will be the attribute name, that is type, and then we want it to be text. So now when I hit save, and now when I go over here and types anything like code grind, and now click on this I icon, the type of this password field is changed to text. But now when I click on it again, it is not changing back to password. So for that, we need to give it with an else, and in here select this password. Let's copy paste it and change it back to password. So now let me type anything, and now this is working completely fine. But there is still one thing which we need to do, that is we need to change this icon. We need to remove the slash when it is changed to text, and we need to add slash when it is changed to password. So for that, what we will do is, in here we'll select our icon, go to the class list and remove the class fai slash, and add the class fai, and let's copy paste this. In here we will remove the class fai and add the class fai slash. Now when I go in here, type anything, the icon also changes, the type of the input field also changes, and when I click on it again, it works absolutely fine. So this is how you can create a password visibility toggle switch using vanilla JavaScript. And don't forget to watch my video of how to create an animated input field. And if you like the video, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more such amazing tutorials on CSS and JavaScript. And thank you for watching.